These are the 3 best hidden loot spots in Rust. Number 3 is going to be a base that we build up next to a rock or cliff face. We leave the rear wall stone that we can just pick out and reveal some boxes in between the foundations and the rock. The con is you can't really fit a lot of boxes there, but the pro is there's no special building tech tricks, and it's believable to have that rear wall stone to save on upkeep. And number 2 is going to be Pixel Gap honeycomb loot rooms, and it's going to be incredibly nice and incredibly easy. You can just use wood pieces that you could chop out later to reveal the pixel gap. You could just jump on an item, access them, and you can put small boxes on jungle shelves, lockers, or wall cabinets as shown here. These are really good because you can just use 1 or 2 honeycomb spots, and they're really hard to tell. The downside is that you usually want to leave it stone because of the pattern on the half wall. And number 2, you can't really put them everywhere on the base, because if you use half walls everywhere, it's really easy to tell that something's up with the core. And number 3, they'll probably blow through your walls anyway to reveal the boxes. Number 1 is going to be Pixel Gap Locker Rock Walls. These are going to be incredibly nice and incredibly easy and very deceitful. We're going to be combining the 2 strengths of number 3 and 2. So we're going to be able to use stone walls because people think we're saving on upkeep, and we're going to hide lockers between a pixel gap up against the rock face. And I think this is number 1 because number 1 is because it always works for me and no one really tells. And then you could hide an incredible amount of loot. You could fit like 16 lockers on the side of a 2x2, like 8 on each side depending on your rock. And again, you could leave those parts stone because most people think you're saving on upkeep, and you're not really. It's not like a raid cost affecting wall. The downside to all of these is that we can't really upgrade the walls too much because, as you can see here, all skin and grades besides unskinned stone and brutalist have weird half wall patterns. So you could really tell when there's a half wall except for when you have unskinned stone. But if you look at brick, adobe, crypt, and jungle, all the other skins, they all have the half wall pattern, so you could tell that it's not a full wall there. So a nowhere might be a nowhere on that case. Every single one of them besides brutalist and unskinned stone. Brutalist is the best one though. Additionally, you don't need to do any pixel gap weird starter or thing like that. We're just going to be doing a normal base starter, and we're going to be adding that pixel gap later. Number 3 is by far the easiest and most versatile because it requires nothing special. You're just going to find a nice little spot on any rock or clip face right here where you could go ahead and maybe put some boxes and something like this. And we're just going to go ahead and build like a random 2x2. We just want to make it look like the door path is going to be the best way to raid it. So we want like honeycomb and pancake layers, and then we're just going to hide boxes back there. Then we could probably put a large box right here, maybe that, and then maybe even a small box if we can, and then we can go ahead and seal that off. And then what I mean by making it look not appetizing for top down, we can just go ahead and add whatever honeycomb we can right here. And we basically want to make the door path look like the best. Even for the most experienced raider, you want to make sure it looks like door path is the best option. Like this right here, at most it's 4 to 6 doors. Once we add the layer on the front, at most it's 4 to 6 doors, but it could be 2 layers of HQM if we HQM both pancake layers or anything like that. And again, this is just the simple, easiest one. Go ahead and chop this out, and then you have your storage right here, and then you can replace it, and you can make it look a little goofy by upgrading the wrong stuff, like do it like this. And then maybe put an external on the front so they can't grief you, and then you can come back in here and chop your stuff out. Alright, number 2 is going to be a little trickier. Before we continue, YouTube did just add a new like direct message feature. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and direct message me on YouTube. But for number 2, for Pixel Gap Honeycomb, we're just going to start a normal 2x2. However you would start your normal 2x2. And the one thing is, wherever we want to have them, so in this case, on the back of the TC, we won't do that. We'll go ahead and do like a shelf right here, like a big. We're going to have to seal this off and leave that empty space so we could add that half wall and pixel gap. And then we can do it over here too. We'll just do 2. It's really nice, but again, only if you're not going to be wall rated. So We'll just go ahead and seal this up like you would get a base down. And then when you're ready to actually add the pixel gaps in these two spots, we're gonna go out and build a nice little twig build out. You may have seen it before, but it's not that bad and it's very easy. And it works in any terrain. We're just gonna go ahead and do these 5 triangles right here. And then we can use all double door frames if you want to save 10 wood. But it's hard to tell that you got the pixel gap right here with a double door frame, because double door frames are taller than single door frames right off the rip, just naturally. So I like to use just single door frames here. You could really tell if there's a pixel gap, but you're just going to build this 3 square 5 triangle build out right here with the 2 single door frames and the 4 double door frames. We're going to demolish these 3 squares and those, so those are floating right here. We're going to back up into this triangle where we put 2 low walls on. We're going to crouch and we're going to zoom in, or FOV 60 right here on this pattern. We're going to go right below this first twig striation. We're going to line ourselves up right under this 2 twig bars right here. Then we're going to go right down below this twig striation, move to the right. And we want to make sure that this is blue right here. If this is not blue, it's not going to work. And then now we have a pixel gap right here. As you can see, it's easier to tell like that. You don't need to check anything like that. Once you confirm that this is blue, and break everything but this triangle that you just placed. And we're gonna put a square here, half wall here, and a floor here. Now I went ahead and did the actual freehand on the spot where my stairs are, so that's not that great, but we're just gonna demolish or chop that out because it was wood. And we're gonna make sure we snap that off of here, and it's good because we have full half walls right here, so it can't come off. I mean, we have a full wall right here. If we had 2 half walls, sometimes it could snap off the normal one when you're trying to place it from the outside of half walls. So we don't want to do that, but we have it set it up correctly here. And now we're just going to do 2 wall cabinets, a locker or something like that, and then we can go ahead and put the upper half wall here, demolish the floor, put the lower half wall. And now when you see here, we can go ahead and access these. Now we can put a wood floor right here to just completely hide the pixel gap. Keep in mind when you do legacy wood, doesn't work right here, but sometimes on like triangle floors, sometimes you could like still see the gap right here. Maybe it's like low object quality settings, but not on regular unskinned wood. So that's what we're going to do right here. And then we're just going to move this over right here. We can go ahead and put our cabinets right here. I have auto electricity on, so those won't be glowing honeycomb spots. But we can just go ahead and put that over here by just simply building around and doing the same thing. We just put a square through the floor right there. And it looks like it's not blue simply because the wall cabinets, I didn't need to do that again. Anyways, now we have another pixel gap right here, and we can just put a wood wall right here and like here to have like mega storage, like a mega storage 2x2 4 right here with the tier 3 right here. And that's just really nice to do it like that. And again, you wouldn't want to do it on all actual spots, especially on a 2x2, because if they see one, they're gonna blow, they're gonna try and get all the rest of them. And then you can just do normal honeycomb like this on all of the sides and continue expanding your 2x2 like normal. And the pixel gap locker rock walls, arguably the best. They're very nice and very easy too, but one thing you need to know about placing foundations in rock bases is that you can't freehand. Where if I put this square foundation as close in as I possibly can, it's going to be sticking out this far. Whereas if I put one just like a little bit off the edge of the rock, I'm going to be able to snap off the one I just placed and get a lot farther in there than we'd ever be able to freehand place. It's just going to be a lot nicer. And then you can check if you could fit the 8 like this. Sometimes there's deeper hitboxes inside of the rock that's preventing it. But you almost always be able to put a horizontal 1 locker right here. A lot of times, depending on the rock, when we're not in the arch rock, you can get some incredible locker setups there. So we're going to be able to do this one completely with 3 or 4, and then we could do one right here. And we could access both of those from one pixel gap over here. So I think we'll just go ahead and make this like one side of the loot room. And we'll just go ahead and make it 3x3. You can check to see if you could do them over here, but this side sometimes it's like this is huge. This is just a regular wall the raiders can come through. So I'm not going to do anything on this side. We're just going to go ahead and do it on this one side right here. And then you could try and practice any other rock-based footprints that you want. So we'll just go ahead and make like a standard starter rock base. And this is going to be absolutely massive because we chose to do it in the arch rock. So anyways, you're just going to start something like this, and we'll just go ahead and put the TC a little back here, because this one we're going to be able to slide it right here, and then we're going to do a lot of lockers right here. So we can go ahead and place the TC right here, have a nice little bunker starter. And to add the pixel gap room, we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to come out with our 3 square, 5 triangle. I just added one more square so I could have some room to show you here. And I didn't mean to do that triangle. So we're going to do 4 triangles like this, 1 triangle on the back with the 3 squares. Single door, and my mouse is like super sensitive. I got like mouse feet thing, and now it feels like it's just on ice skates. Anyways, we're just going to go ahead and do this. And demolish everything that's not our 3 triangles and our overhanging frames. Hop inside of our triangle right here. Building plan, triangle foundation, FOV 60. Line your crosshair up to below those posts. Come straight down, slightly below this striation right here. You don't want to go too low. And then you want to move 1 pixel to the right. And you want to check if this is blue. And we want to go ahead and demolish everything here. And we want to build back, but we don't want to touch the foundation. You can, but you don't want to accidentally place it off the core. If you accidentally place it off the core and then you place this and this is off the core, it's not going to work and you're going to be frustrated and you're like, Rollo, what are you talking about? We're just going to not touch it, put a half wall overhanging and run back into our base with that floor. And this should be giving stability. If this is not giving stability like this, if it's just not allowing you to place those floors, that means your gap is too big and your gap is like overhanging like this. You would be able to create an offset bunker. Just some technical stuff, but if you're not getting stability, the gap is too big and you went too far down. So we're just going to add that half wall there, and we're going to float this over one more time and add another half wall right here. Actually, we don't even need to because we could access it like this. We just need that 1 half wall like that, and we can go ahead and put 1 locker in right here that we'll be able to access, 1 right here, 1 right here that we'll be able to access, 1 right here, 1 right here. And we can put this little half wall right here, and we can put a wood floor for like a loot room. And then we could do this. And now from the outside in, it looks like a normal rock base. Except for that giant hole that I didn't fill. But then as soon as you're raided or anything, you obviously want an external TC. You could just have all 4 lockers right here. Yeah, it's just really nice, really easy. No one's found it when I do it.